What is going on, everybody? You have Tone here, the coach of your Miami Malamarlins, and I am bringing you guys my IBL Season 4 Week 11 battle this week. We are taking on TurkeySub, or Cameron as you see on your screen, coach of the Chicago Cubchoos, in a pretty important battle. Not so much for me, more so for my opponent, and I'll get into that, why it's so important. So first and foremost, as you can see, you see the battle layout right in front of your screen. Now normally I do team builders and then go straight into the battle itself, but I decided for the last 2 weeks of the season I won't be doing that, for the reasons being I don't want to give my opponent, or a potential round 1 opponent as is the case in this matchup, any real information as to my sets or my EV spreads or anything of the sort. So basically what I used this week for was to scout, and for the most part scouting in terms of what my opponent would bring against me and what his responses are to the threats on my team. So as you see, currently, as the current conference standings are as of going into week 11, I am the 2 seed, my opponent is the 3 seed. If the season ended today, we'd be playing each other round 1 in the playoffs. So I went into this matchup pretty much thinking, okay, I'm just going to build a team with not that many impertinent sets. Now I don't want to give too much detail away of what I feel works against me or what works against him. I'm just going to try to play close to the vest, try to be as competitive as I possibly can, and try to basically force his hand in terms of what he decides to bring against me and all that stuff. So as you can see, my opponent brings the Rotom Wash, Megalopony, Kartana, Sylveon, Metagross, and Zy-Garde 10%. He also has an Amoonguss and a Braviary. So like us, he has an 8-mon roster. His team has a lot of threats, and if I do end up playing him round 1 in the playoffs, I'll go more into detail as to what I feel like works against my team and vice versa. So this team isn't really all that special in terms of what I brought. Just a quick condensed version of my team that I'm bringing this game. Finally have an excuse to bring Vikavolt to a game, which I'm very glad about. It is choice specs. And then I have, I believe, Roost 3 attacks, Mega Aerodactyl, a Scarf Salazzle, defensive type of Finny, pretty standard stuff. A Roost 3 attacks, Life Orb Hydreigon, and a standard Ferrothorn as my opponent. As I mentioned, he left the Amoonguss and the Braviary in the back, and he brought everything else. So in terms of a lead matchup, I decided to just lead off with my Vikavolt here, just try to see if I can get off as much damage as I could on something. So with that all being said, let's just play the match and see how we go in this matchup. So what's going to happen is, as you see, I am going to lead off with my my Vikavolt, just because of the fact that I'm not really expecting him to bring nothing too out of the ordinary in terms of like matchups. So what I'm going to do here, turn 1, I'm just going to click T-Bolt here, and he's just going to go for the Volt Switch. I figured he would go into Sylveon to scout the damage on my Vikavolt, but he just goes hard into his Zy-Garde here, which was kind of weird on my part, but I don't really blame him for this, making the turn 1 safe play. So now I'm stuck, I'm pretty much stuck here. I'm choice locking the Thunderbolt here. I'm going to go out into my Tapu Fini and stuff the Misty Terrain, and as he's going to go straight for the 1,000 Arrows here, and as you're going to see by the damage, that is a choice banded Zy-Garde 10%, and I pretty much have no switch-ins to this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go for the Moonblast, I believe. I went for Nature's Madness here, expecting him to switch out of my Tapu Fini. He goes into his Rotom, as I expected here. So now, again, I'm sort of stuck in the middle here, as it's a Rotom in versus Tapu Fini. I'm going to go back into my Vikavolt here, and he has no reason not to click Volt Switch because I didn't bring my Mamoswine, which is fine. So he's going to Volt Switch right out, and he's going to go directly into his Zy-Garde again. And I'm pretty much just going to stay in, I believe, and I'm going to go for the Bug Buzz here. He is going to click 1,000 Arrows, and unfortunately my Vikavolt is going to drop to the 1,000 Arrows. So unfortunately Vikavolt didn't get to do anything this battle. But I do get to go on to my Ferrothorn here, and I believe I'm going to go and click Stealth Rock this turn. as he just goes for the 1,000 arrows again as I get up my rocks. I didn't really need to go for my rocks this turn, as the Zy-Garde is more impervious, but I knew I could take one more hit. I knew I'd take another banded 1,000 arrows from this Zy-Garde. I'm just going to go for the gyro ball here, and I'm going to do a good amount of damage, but not to the point where I take it out and my Fergal is just going to drop to the next 1,000 arrows. So right away, this Zy-Garde is putting in a lot of work against me. But I did go into my Salazzle here. I'm just going to click Hidden Power Ice, and not to risk Sludge, going for Sludge Wave or Fire Blast. I just want to get rid of the Zy-Garde here, and which we do with the Hidden Power Ice. Now in comes the Megalopoly here. I'm choice locking the Hidden Power Ice. I'm just going to go out into my Tapu, make the play out into my Tapu Fini here, because I don't really have much of a switch in to this thing. I think the Mystic Terrain back up. He is going to Mega Evolve here, I believe. At this point, he's either going to go for the Fake Out or just go straight for the Return. I believe this goes for, yeah, he's going straight for the Return here, which unfortunately is going to be a 2 KO on my Tapu Fini, which is totally fine by me, to be perfectly honest here. It's going to kill off my Fini with the next Return, so not looking good. I'm down 3-5 here. In comes Mega Aerodactyl. I know I can outspeed this. So I'm just going to Mega Evolve here, make the safe play, go for the Wing Attack, as he's just going to go back out into his Rotom Wash, which is totally fine by me. He takes a Stealth Rock damage. I want to Mega Evolve here, and just go for the this very safe Wing Attack. Again, I'm not trying to play this game too predicting reliant, so I just do the Wing Attack, do a good amount of damage, but the leftovers are covered, so I'm going to put him out of range of the Wing Attack. I'm going to go for the Stone Edge here. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss the Stone Edge as he goes for the Volt Switch on my Rotom, and he's going to pivot out and go into his Metagross here, and I don't want to take a Bullet Punch to the face, so I believe I'm going to go and switch out into my Hydreigon here, as he is going to just go straight up for the Bullet Punch here, not trying to make any strange predictions. We eat that up, and I'm just going to go for the Dark Pulse here. As he makes the play, he's going to go and sack off his Rotom this turn, because I didn't bring Mamoswine, so Rotom wasn't doing much of anything in this game. So Rotom's going to go down here, but because he knows I'm Life Orb now, he gets to send out his Megalopoly for free, and he's just going to go and click Return. He's going to Fake on me first to put me in range of to where Return would then take me out. I could have made a hard read into the my Aerodactyl, but didn't want to do that. So now I'm going to go out into my Aerodactyl now, and I'm going to click Fire Fang, predicting him to go into his Metagross, but he actually decides to go out into his Kartana, which I'm totally fine with as long as we connect the Fire Fang this turn, and sure enough, we do connect the Fire Fang, and Kartana is going to drop. So let's make one more kill for the Aerodactyl. In comes Metagross again. I know I could take a Bullet Punch from Metagross from the range of HP I'm at. So he's going to go for the Bullet Punch here, almost take me out, and I'm going to go Fire Fang, and I'm going to miss that, so that's unfortunate. Now I'm going to make the play into my Salazzle here as he goes for the Bullet Punch, really hoping he got to click Stealth Rock this turn, but no he doesn't. Just goes for the Bullet Punch here, makes a safe play. And now I'm going to go for the Fire Blast here as he goes out into his Sylveon, as I'm going to click Fire Blast, and you see we're going to miss Fire Blast too. So again, unfortunate I go for the Fire Blast again, because if I did host Fire Blast, I wouldn't have had to take these 2 extra rounds of Hyper Voices, as you're going to see here. So now I'm going to go for Fire Blast again. I miss again as he goes for another Hyper Voice, and puts me in a position where I am just going to drop to the following Hyper Voice from the Sylveon, which does suck here. But it's totally fine, as the Salazzle is going to drop this turn. My last Pokemon is my Mega Aerodactyl. I'm just going to go for the Wing Attack, pick off the Sylveon with the Wing Attack, but it doesn't matter because he can go onto his Lopunny or his Metagross, click Fake Out or Bullet Punch respectively, and we are going to unfortunately lose this game 2-0 to the Chicago Cubchoos. So some very unfortunate hacks for the most part. I can't really complain about how the battle went for the most part, but to be perfectly honest, there was some sort of misplays on my end. Well, I want to say misplays. I think the only misplay I made was turn 1. I was pretty surprised he went hard Zy-Garde on my Vikavolt. If I clicked Bug Buzz turn 1, that would have been a dead Zy-Garde 10%, and not to mention the the fact that I missed a Stone Edge, 2 Fire Blasts, and a Fire Fang of all things. But it's Pokemon, it's the game we play again. This game didn't matter that much to me. I already clinched playoffs, and it doesn't really matter about my positioning in the playoffs for the most part, because again, it didn't really matter to me who I played round 1 in the playoffs. I just didn't want to make sure that I didn't reveal too much of what I could potentially bring for my potential playoff battle, whether it be against Cameron here or against my week 12 opponent, which is Point Blank and the Portage Herdiers. I don't think he's locked up playoffs, but he's more than likely going to clinch playoffs. I don't know how that game's going to go down yet. I haven't played my week 12 game at the time we recording this battle, so hopefully we'll see how things pan out from there. But that's going to be it from me, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy the battle nonetheless. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Feel free to check out my opponent in the description down below. And that's going to be it from me. Again, I hope you guys did enjoy the battle. And until the next battle, guys, this is Tone, signing off for now. Peace out.